Money is top of mind for millions of Americans for 2026. A new Wells Fargo study shows nearly everyone is setting a financial resolution, most hoping to save more or spend less. But history tells a different story. Nearly 75% of Americans fell short of their money goals last year.
Nationally recognized consumer finance expert Andrea Warrock joining us now to break down the biggest mistakes that people make when setting those resolutions financially and the realistic proven strategies that work. We are all ears. Okay, great to see you. Happy New Year to you. So one of your strategies...
Yes, Happy New Year to you too. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, one of your focuses is really on saving. Right? And so why should saving come before you tackle some of the debt?
Yes, a big misconception when you are managing your finances and if you have debt is that you should put all your extra income towards paying off your credit card balances. But the problem is if you don't put any money towards savings, you won't have cash to cover those unexpected bills that can pop up at any moment, whether it's a medical emergency, car or home repair, or even if you lose your job or your hours get reduced, you need to have cash on the reserve to help pay the bills, bridge that gap. And that's going to keep you from going into debt again in the future. That's what triggers a vicious debt cycle when you have no money saved. So you want to aim for at least 3 months of living expenses. Now, I know for many people, this might be a little bit overwhelming if you're starting from zero. So even if you can save $500 or even $1,000, that's going to give you a little bit of cushion, help you feel motivated to keep moving on. And I would also suggest put that money in a separate account so it's out of sight, out of mind. Open up a high yield savings account so your dollars work harder for you. For example, Bread Savings offers over 4%. I believe it's 4.05% annual percentage yield. So now your savings will make some extra income for you. Obviously, the more you have saved, the more you'll make, but great way to save your emergency fund.
Good to know. All right, another strategy, though, is not ignoring those poor spending habits that you have. I mean, habits matter.
Right, exactly. So a lot of people fail in saving in the long run or paying off debt in the long run because they're not treating the bad spending habits that got them there in the first place. And this doesn't necessarily mean you're just buying a bunch of items on impulse, but maybe you're not paying attention to various purchase terms, or you're using a high interest credit card to make these purchases without realizing if it fits in your budget. So you really have to treat those habits and look for poor spending habits to cut. So I would delete payment information stored in online retail accounts, or delete store apps that cause you to spend without thought. You really need to identify what causes you to spend and then figure out how to avoid them, create purchase hurdles. If there's a store you can't resist buying extra items that weren't on your shopping list, don't even walk into that store.
Right.
You could always choose curbside pickup or shipping from an online retailer.
Yesterday I was walking by a J. Crew. It said 70% off clearance, and I was like, a magnet, whoop, right inside. Proud of myself.
Exactly. You have to, And by being just aware of what causes you to spend, you'll be able to rethink whether that's a necessary purchase.
Well, you're seeing 70% off. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm getting such a good deal. Let me stock up on things I don't need. But what about paycheck to paycheck? A lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. And so what is something you can do to help avoid that?
Yes. Well, first of all, don't allow your limited budget to keep you from reaching your goals. There are things you can do. First of all, if you're drowning in debt, negotiate your interest rate. Call your credit card company, get a lower rate. That's going to reduce your monthly bill for your debt, help it make it easier to pay off. Also, think about maybe earning some extra cash. If getting a raise at work is out of the question, you could always get a flexible side hustle. There are so many side hustles you could do from home and in your spare time. Pet sitting, if you have a yard, fenced-in yard. Virtual tutoring, you do this online. There's also opportunities to sign up as a virtual assistant for people who own small businesses. Maybe there's some small tasks you can do. Any extra income you make can help you reach your financial goals. And then also beware of lifestyle inflation. This is when you spend more when you make more. So say you did get a raise or a bonus last year, don't even let that income hit your checking account. Transfer it right to savings. Put it right towards your debt. This is going to help you reach your goals.
A lot of people think that my goal to save money or whatever is by following a strict budget, but that fails so many times. Why is that?
Yes. So what I find is that people want to start the new year, reach these financial goals, and they want to make over their entire lifestyle, change everything at once. But it's so hard to really stick to this. It's much easier to commit and stick to small level changes rather than a life overhaul, right? So rather than trying to change everything at once, find one or two habits, whether that's, not taking advantage of those 70% off sales
Yeah, Dana.
or, finding a few bills that you can reduce or cancel. Small changes each month throughout the year is going to lead to lifelong better habits with your money. And then also, rather than being really restrictive and cutting everything out, add some fun money every month. This could be a certain amount of money, maybe an extra $50 or $100, whatever you can afford, to put towards maybe that splurge or that concert you want to go to. And if you don't use it one month, you could roll it over to the next month, have a little extra to put towards those fun purchases.
Great idea. I always feel inspired and ambitious after talking to you, Andrea.
Well, I
Great to see
appreciate
you.
that. That makes me feel good. Thank you so much.